Welcome to Burning of the Midnight Lamp, where we are dissecting music history album by album and track by track. We are continuing on our David Bowie journey and the Heathen album, and we have come to the fifth track on this album called Afraid, a song written by David Bowie. And we're just going to jump straight into it and have a listen. Yes, so there we are.
Yeah. Is this the same version that is originally on the album?
It is, yes.
Okay.
But it's not the first version, because the first version is from the Toy album and it's not been officially released.
It's one of those two songs that was originally recorded for a Toy album that is on the Heathen. But contrary to Slip Away, the other song, which was completely re-recorded and restructured a little bit, this song is essentially the same track as the Toy version, but they remixed it a bit and added some
strings,
and they did a bit more aggressive guitars, I think, and
Yeah, the reason I ask is just that it sounds different to what I
Remembered?
remembered.
But the band is different, of course, since it's originally from another session.
I think here you have Sterling Campbell on drums, for example, and I think you can hear that. It is a bit more aggressive, maybe.
It's also a very electric light orchestra with this.
Strings.
Yeah, it's like something from Rocaria or with the strings and the distorted guitar.
Yeah,
And the tempo.
Not many songs with that kind of drums have strings.
No, it's true.
And Bowie's vocal style here, it is not a style he used a lot in his career. It's a little bit like, he sings great, but it's not perfect vocals. It's like he slides off a little bit, and he did that quite a bit on Hours. That's when he sort of started doing that, I would say. And he didn't do it much after.
No, I was actually also thinking about that, because you can almost hear that you feel that, okay, probably could have done this better if he would like to, but he chose not to.
No, definitely a choice to keep it like that, or even sing it like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think he has used his voice sometime before. I'm thinking about Heroes and Lodger and tracks like Blackout and Beauty and the Beast. I think maybe he just tries to be, this is when I'm unhinged and unstable voice. This is him being afraid. Sort of an acting voice.
I see what you mean, but still there is some quality in that type of singing here that he only had in 99 and 2000 basically, then when the song was first recorded. The background story here is that as we talked before on the podcast, Toy basically was re-recordings of old songs and 3 new songs that supposedly in that old style. I can't really say that this is maybe his 60s style, maybe the more up-tempo Can't Help Thinking About Me type of songs, maybe.
Not his 60s styles, but I would say there's an ingredients from the 60s,
like
almost surfer-like guitar and
I was also thinking about Nugget's collection.
And the old
Kings
style synthesizer sound here, that almost like popcorn sound that sort of goes in the background there. But the song was inspired by, I'm not sure if it was Bowie or Mark Plotty, the producer of Toy, who was reading Andrew Loog Oldham's memoirs, Stoned, about Rolling Stones. He was Rolling Stones manager back in the 60s. And at some stage he had locked away Mick Jagger and Keith Richards into a room and told them to not come out until they had written a song. And they came back with some famous Rolling Stones song. I can't remember what it was now, but Mark Plotty basically then sent Bowie into the Looking Glass Lounge and asked him to do the same. Don't come back until you have written a song. And he came back with Afraid. Yeah.
It works.
He did.
He's good with deadlines, Mr. Bowie.
Yeah. So when they was going to use it for Heathen, Mark Plotty was asked to do some more work on the guitar parts. And of course they used Visconti's strings. He's a great string arranger. And that's what he did for this track as well.
I think it's a great addition to the track, and it brings a different flavor to it. But there's also a rawness to the original that I very much like. So I think it's 2 different versions, but I'm not sure really which one I prefer. It's also because the one from Toy has not been officially released, so we don't know if the version that was circulating on the internet and it around 2011 or so, I'm not sure if that is properly mixed. If it's just a
it was
work in progress.
stolen. Apparently, it's been said it had been stolen from Mark Platty's laptop at the time, so it had been mixed by Mark Platty, but maybe it's not the final mix. It is a mix at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we just should take a listen to that version as well, as
Compare.
it was stolen. It's available on YouTube, but not officially released anywhere else.
I wish I was smarter. I got so lost on the shore. I wish I was taller. Things really matter to
Love the drums.
Yeah. It's got some synthesizer.
Choir at it.
Great heavy bass playing here. It's more pronounced.
It is definitely.
made my life so wonderful. What made me feel so bad? I used to wake up the ocean. I used to walk on clouds. If I could pay the navigation, if I could smile a crooked smile, if I could talk on television, if I could walk an empty mile, and I won't feel afraid. No, I won't feel afraid. I won't be afraid anymore. Just won't be
Almost a spaghetti western ending.
Yeah, I think I maybe like this version better, actually.
It's a lot heavier,
It has more energy.
and it's composition-wise, it sounds like something he would have given to Iggy Pop at certain stages. And in the 80s, it's got this Iggy Pop flavor.
Yeah, maybe.
The early 90s, Brick by Brick, blah, blah, blah.
No, the mix is definitely a bit more flat than the other one, which has also this amazing stereo separation where something starts on the left side and comes to the right. So most likely it is, as you say, this is not likely to be released in this sense. But I imagine if this was properly mixed, I would also go for this version. Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
like the bass.
Yeah. Mm.
What I mean by liking this version is that I think the strings are great on the Heathen version,
Mm.
but I'm certainly not missing them here, for example.
No.
And that's probably the biggest addition you have between those two versions. They did some guitar work. I can't immediately, even though we heard them back to back here now, say what that was.
Mm. Yeah, well, this is the garage band version, and Heathen is they put it on the iron board and they ironed out the wrinkles, so it's more presentable, and the strings, of course, would not have been near an Iggy Pop album, so that brings it into a different territory, and it probably needed to be a bit more sophisticated to fit on the Heathen album, because as it is mixed now, it fits very well among the other tracks, while this would be more garage and more unfinished.
It is maybe this version would have been more suitable for reality.
Oh, that is true. That's a good point.
I agree.
And it is more like the live version that they would play. Which I guess obviously it's it also
I can't remember the live version very well, if they used the strings or not, for example.
Not in the sense that it's on Eden.
No. They did play it live 67 times. And interestingly enough, it was played on a live stream at Bowie Net on 2nd of November 2000. So this is
early.
2 years before Heathen came out, and a year before Toy would have come out. But it was only Bowie on vocals and acoustic guitar, and Mark Plotty on electric guitar.
Oh, you saw this?
No, unfortunately not.
It was just live. Never.
Yeah, it was a live stream.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the first time it was played live, because it properly was at the 2002 Tribeca Film Festival, which is was like this MTV Rock and Comedy concert, where they only played 5 songs. It's maybe not a proper concert. So the first full concert it was played at was at the Roseland Ballroom, New York, 11th of June 2002. The Tribeca Film Festival was a month before. The last time it was played was Norwegian Wood in Oslo, 18th of June 2004. So it was played on both Reality and Heathen tours. And it's also available on the A Reality Tour DVD and album taken from Dublin. The lyrics on this song, themes of insecurity and conformity, I guess is something Bowie returned to every now and then.
But he still believes in the Beatles.
He believes in Beatles, and it is, he basically paraphrases John Lennon there from the song God, where he sings, "I don't believe in Beatles." And Bowie was a big fan of the album that God came from, John Lennon / Plastic Ono Band. For example, he recorded 2 songs from it, Mother, which we have discussed before, and Working Class Hero, which was recorded by Tin Machine. And he also paraphrased Lennon's I Found Out on the song Watch That Man. The quote is, "The girl on the phone wouldn't leave me alone, a throwback from someone's LP." And in 1979, he was on a BBC radio show where Bowie picked songs that his favorite songs to play, and then he chose the song Remember, which is also from this song, from this album. So you actually have 6 songs that Bowie references or played or paraphrased in some way or another.
So he might be a heathen on this album, but he still believes in the Beatles. That's reassuring.
And there are lines here, for example, he sings, "What made my life so wonderful? What made me feel so bad?" Which he answers with lines like, "If I put faith in medication, if I can smile a crooked smile, if I can talk on television, if I can walk an empty mile, then I won't feel afraid." It almost sounds autobiographical, but he has said in interviews that this was not the case. Bowie regarded it as more as an ironic song. If I do everything you're told to do, and he said, and I do it the way everybody expects things to be done, then I won't be afraid of anything. But he doesn't really want to be doing those kind of things. Which is, I guess, similar theme as in Jump They Say.
Yes.
And he also used similar lines in the reworked version of I Can't Read from 1997, where he sings, "Can I see the family smile? Can I reach tomorrow? Can I walk a missing mile?" And in the Afraid version, he sings, "If I can smile a crooked smile, if I can talk on television, if I can walk an empty mile." So you have both the I can smile or I see the smile mixed, coupled with walking a missing mile or empty mile in both of them.
Interesting. That's what happens when you put him in a room and you ask him to write before he can get his supper. Then he will recycle that memory, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good point, actually. But still, I mean, it's not like you would...
He's not the guy that reuses lyrics a lot.
No, and you don't, at least I don't, it's one thing to, when you compare it side by side, you can definitely see that there are some similarities there, but it's not like you would think about it and it strikes you when he sings it.
No, and I just feel that's an artistic freedom that happens from time to time, especially with the artists that have such an immense work catalog like Bowie.
I guess if you write a line, that ends with smile, and you think, what does that rhyme on? Mile? Yeah. The song wasn't released on singles or anything like that, although it is a very catchy, poppy tune that could very well have been a single.
Yeah.
But it was used in a TV commercial for XM Radio, which came out as much as 7 months before the album came out. There are two versions, or actually there's only one version where that song is used, but Bowie was featured in 2 different commercials for XM Radio. In one, he's falling to earth and is crashing through the ceiling of a motel room of an old couple, and they look very surprised, and he looks up at the sky and he says, "I'll never get used to that."
I haven't seen that one.
And in the other one, it's Bowie and Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg is looking for his bling, his jewelry, and he walks around in the studio, asks different people if they've taken it. And you can see Bowie sitting in a radio studio and talking to an audience, and you can see Snoop Dogg sort of pointing. "Have you taken it? Have you seen it?" And Bowie's like, no, I haven't seen it. As Snoop Dogg walks away, you can see Bowie sort of pulling his shirt apart, and he looks down at this Snoop Dogg jewelry. It's very funny, actually.
Yeah, this is really absurd.
I thought we can have a look at both of them.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
Bees convene daily.
I'll never get used to that. Rock, commercial free. Beyond AM, beyond FM, XM, satellite radio. Available at your local electronics store.
Millions of bees.
The man who fell to earth, I guess.
Exactly.
We have the other one.
Right here on XM Satellite.
Hey, dear, you seen my chain?
I haven't seen it.
David Bowie, guest DJ on. Listening.
Listen large, only on XM Satellite Radio, with radio starting at $30.
It's funny. And that look he gave Snoop. Oh, I haven't seen it.
I'd watch the hell out of a sitcom with Snoop Dogg and David Bowie having a radio.
That would have been a show.
What a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
With two of them having a podcast show or something like that together.
Yeah.
Well, if it had been today, maybe they would have.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It would have been very, very fun. I don't have anything else to add to the song, unless you have.
Great song.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
2 more. Thank you to everyone who was watching us. And we'll be back shortly with another song from Heathen. That would be I've Been Waiting for You, cover song by Neil Young.
I've been waiting for that one.
You have. That's great. You have to wait a couple more days, though. In the meantime, we also have a podcast where we are discussing the whole album and other Bowie albums and also other artists. And we have a Patreon where you can get early access to every song on this album and other albums as well.
If you don't want to wait.
If you don't want to wait. And until then, it's only for us to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Don't be afraid.